A man obsessed with strength, discipline, and dominance walks into the world of Dragon Ball and finds the oldest, wisest pervert on the island waiting for him. Sounds like a meme, but what if it wasn't? What if Andrew Tate, controversial internet personality and former kickboxer, was trained by none other than Master Roshi, the man who shaped Goku, Krillin, and the legacy of Earth's martial arts, now takes on a real-world figure. By the way, if you are also playing games and in World of Warcraft like me, click the link on the description below to level up and farm golds effortlessly. Let's dig into an alternate timeline where Andrew Tate's raw ambition meets the Dragon Ball universe's oldest sensei, a place where the hyperbolic time chamber meets Bugatti talk and ego clashes with enlightenment. From hustler to Hermit Island. We're starting on a quiet beach somewhere in the Dragon Ball world. Turtle shells, coconut trees, and a bald old man who still wears sunglasses indoors. Master Roshi's training is brutal, simple, and legendary. No luxury, no assistance, just sweat, sand, and soul-crushing repetition. When Andrew Tate arrives, arrogant, ripped, and already a fighter, he thinks he's ahead of the game. But Roshi's world humbles him fast. There are no Bugattis here, no Wi-Fi, no social media clout. Just 50-pound turtle shells, long-distance milk deliveries, and dodging bees with your eyes closed. At first, Tate resists. He mocks Roshi's methods. He questions the wisdom of running laps around the island carrying crates of bottled water. But Roshi doesn't yell. He waits. Because he knows something Tate doesn't yet. Real power comes from mastering boredom, not flexing through it. And after days of breaking his body on the sand, Tate finally caves. He stops asking questions. He starts following orders. Breaking the ego with turtle style. One of the biggest changes Master Roshi forces on his students isn't physical, it's mental. He strips away the ego. That's tough for someone like Andrew Tate. In the real world, his persona is built on dominance, on being the best, the richest, the toughest. But under Roshi, that identity breaks. The man who trains Goku doesn't care about money or fame. He teaches martial arts for self-growth, for balance. Roshi doesn't reward pride. He challenges it, constantly, and slowly. Tate learns something strange. Strength isn't about proving you're better than others. It's about proving you're better than you were yesterday. It takes weeks, months. Tate's mindset shifts. He starts meditating after training. He eats slower, speaks less. That cocky smirk fades not out of defeat, but because he's starting to understand why Roshi trained in solitude. Ki energy meets mindset mastery. In the Dragon Ball world, power isn't just physical. It's energetic. It's internal. Master Roshi introduces Tate to Ki, the invisible life force that fuels attacks like the Kamehameha. This flips everything Tate knew about strength. He's used to muscle, punching, speed. But now, he has to sit in silence and feel energy, control his breathing, visualize flow. It's the exact opposite of flexing for a camera. It's focus, without the fame. And once he gets it, everything changes. Tate's kicks become sharper. His punches carry shockwaves. He starts levitating without realizing. Roshi grins behind his beard because he's seen this before when Goku first figured it out. That raw potential finally unlocking. But Roshi also warns him, Kai power is like money. If you chase it for the wrong reason, it consumes you. If you use it with purpose, it elevates you. No more top G, only top form. The internet persona known as top G fades. That image doesn't work here. In Roshi's world, strength isn't performative, it's sacred. Gone are the flashy sunglasses, luxury rants, and alpha male sermons. Tate starts waking up before sunrise. He meditates. He spars with Krillin, then Tien, then Yamcha. He stops needing validation because every bruise teaches him something. Even Roshi starts respecting him, not because he's loud, but because he's consistent. Day after day, Tate shows up. Eventually, Roshi gives him the official Turtle School GI, the same one Goku and Krillin wore. A symbol not of status, but of transformation. And this time, Tate wears it with humility. The Tenkaichi Budokai enters the chat. With his new mindset and power, Tate enters the World Martial Arts Tournament, not to dominate, but to test himself. This isn't just a fighting ring. It's the world stage of Dragon Ball's greatest martial artists. Tate's presence causes a stir, a new face, a wild backstory. But Roshi sits in the stands, calm as ever. Round after round, Tate wins, not through brute force, but through precision. He channels Kai through movement. He dodges without flinching. His final opponent, Goten, young, cocky, and trained by Goku himself. The fight is close. Goten's speed is unmatched, but Tate holds his ground. For once, he doesn't chase the win. He focuses on the moment. Every move is calculated, every breath synced with intent. And in the final seconds, he pulls a trick Roshi taught him, redirecting Goten's energy against him. He doesn't win with flash. He wins with flow. Facing the shadow, Roshi believes every martial artist must eventually face their own shadow. Not a literal opponent, but the old version of themselves, the fear, the pride, the wounds they never dealt with. For Tate, that fight comes unexpectedly. One night, while meditating, he sees visions. The internet fame, the house arrests, the controversy, all staring back at him like a reflection that won't fade. He doesn't punch it away, he sits with it. This is where his biggest battle happens, not in a tournament, but in silence, in owning the mistakes, in realizing that strength isn't about rising above others, it's about lifting others too. Roshi doesn't interfere. He knows this moment separates the martial artist from the warrior. When Tate walks out of that meditation, he's not lighter, but he's clearer. And that clarity, that's the real power. Hyperbolic Time Chamber. After proving himself in the tournament, Roshi sends Tate to train in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. 1 year inside equals just a day outside. Total isolation. This is where Goku evolved into a Super Saiyan, where Vegeta learned humility. Now, it's Tate's turn. Inside, he's tested more than ever. No distractions, no exit. Just him and his limits. At first, his mind rebels. The old Tate returns, bored, anxious, hungry for stimulus. But then, it breaks. And after that, he builds. He creates his own routine. Push-ups. Sparring with shadow clones. Creating Kai blasts blindfolded. He even writes his own training manual in the dirt walls notes from Roshi, from pain, from growth. By the end of the year, Tate doesn't just level up physically, he evolves spiritually. He steps out of the chamber. And Roshi doesn't even need to speak, he just nods, because the transformation is complete. Crossing paths with Vegeta. One day, while sparring in Capsule Corp's gravity chamber, Tate runs into Vegeta. The Saiyan Prince is not impressed. He doesn't care about Roshi's new student, but he does care about pride. Vegeta challenges him, not out of hatred but curiosity. And what unfolds is one of the most intense sparring sessions in Dragon Ball crossover history. Vegeta's speed pushes Tate to the edge. Tate's discipline holds firm. Blow after blow, they clash pure technique versus raw Saiyan instinct. But it's not about who wins. It's about Vegeta seeing someone who came from a completely different world and still chose to walk the path of the warrior. At the end of the session, Vegeta smirks. "You're not worthless," he says, "for a human." That's the Vegeta version of a compliment. Back to Earth, but not the same. When Roshi finally tells Tate it's time to return to his world, the moment is bittersweet. He's gained strength, perspective, and balance. But he also knows the real fight isn't in the Dragon Ball world, it's back home, where ego is currency, where distraction is the drug, where most people never stop performing. Roshi hands him a scroll. No words, just a symbol for peace. That's the final lesson. True power isn't about how much you take, it's how much peace you can carry into chaos. Tate returns to Earth not as Top G, but as a martial artist, not to dominate social media, but to show that transformation is real, and it doesn't always need to be loud. He doesn't preach, he doesn't argue, he just moves differently, and people notice. So what if Andrew Tate trained under Master Roshi? Maybe he wouldn't become a Super Saiyan, but he'd become something rarer, a man who conquered himself, someone who dropped the act, leaned into discipline, and understood that the loudest power isn't always heard, it's felt. This crossover wasn't about fiction meeting reality. It was about stripping both down to their core. A man seeking strength, a master offering wisdom, and a reminder that the hardest battles are never external. They're the ones we fight when no one's watching. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this Dragon Ball reality crossover, hit like and subscribe for more wild what-ifs, rewrites, and anime mashups that blend two worlds into one. Drop your dream crossover in the comments, and let's see which timeline we rewrite next.